For those of you using LeadsHook and LeadByte, there are two solutions that will help you remain compliant when it comes to providing explicit consent on screen to your customers within your funnel, or at least we believe so anyway. The first is a technical one, and it requires that you call LeadByte's API using a node. So here you can see there is a request to fill in a form. A API node then calls LeadByte's your LeadByte account's API. LeadByte will return a response, essentially what buyer contracts qualify for processing, and then you can configure a LeadsHook node to present an on-screen consent journey. So thank you to Arga, who has helped us with this part. For those of you in the LeadsHook community, I'm sure you're familiar with who Arga is, and he would be able to help you with that. So once the consent is then given by the customer throughout that journey, the data is then submitted to your LeadByte account, and the lead is distributed to the right buyer or buyers subject to your setup, but essentially only deliver it to buyers where the consent has been given. So that's the first solution. It does require you to do some API code node lifting within LeadsHook. Arga, I'm sure, would be happy to help. The other solution, which is, I guess it requires no coding skills. It uses Conversion Hero. So Conversion Hero is a piece of software that's integrated with LeadByte's API to essentially query what buyer contracts will qualify for processing in real time. It handles the consent journey, so it's fully managed by Conversion Hero, so you don't need to actually do any of the node configuration. So what happens here is we go from something like this, which is incredibly simple anyway for LeadsHook, and it then goes to something like this, where the data is collected, and then using the results node, the data is passed over to Conversion Hero, which is integrated directly into your LeadByte account. So it's using an API call here. Conversion Hero will do the call to LeadByte. LeadByte will return the response to Conversion Hero, which then manages that entire consent journey. Consent is given, and then the customer is redirected to a page of your choice. So I'm just going to show you here an example. So this is using LeadsHook. I'm just going to submit some data here. Let's use London and SW130PX, and we are now going to submit data. So once this is submitted, it's passed over to the results node. The results node then makes the call to Conversion Hero, follows the redirect to then the consent page that's managed by Conversion Hero. So as a customer now, I would be then taken to a consent page. You can customize this consent page. It's presented to buyers out of many based on the data that was provided. So I can either select one, or I might select both, submit and agree. So I'm then submitting the data back to LeadByte. So a full lead is then submitted, and the lead is then distributed to the correct buyer. And at the same time, the customer is redirected to a thank you page of your choice, all of which can be configured in Conversion Hero. So in this instance here, we've just submitted Dara Lynch, and this time the buyer has actually been allocated to buyer 3. So that is the FCC one-to-one consent solution that we LeadByte have in play at the moment for many of our customers that are using LeadsHook and want to know what solutions are available to become a little bit more compliant. Now, we are not a letter of the law, so we do advise that you get some legal advice around this, but ultimately you will invariably need to change the way you collect your data. And we've got two solutions here. One is a technical one, which leverages LeadByte's API, and the other is using Conversion Hero, which is essentially that middleware between LeadsHook and LeadByte, handles that consent journey so you don't have to do any of the heavy lifting. So if you want to find out more information, you can read more on this video. But if you're a LeadsHook or LeadByte customer, then you can raise a support ticket and find out more. And hopefully we can help you in January next year become as compliant as you need to be to continue stacking your growth with your lead generation efforts.